Like you were channeling a specific. Okay, so when they say God's people, they're not talking about God himself. They are talking about the people of the different brothers. So there was like, remember how I told you when the brothers separated, they had like their children were in charge of certain areas. Like Enlil's children were in charge of Egypt. And at this point, the brothers were already gone off the planet. They weren't allowed to interfere anymore. The real God source told them they couldn't interfere anymore with humankind because now we have free will, right? Because of Adam and Eve, and Eve ate the apple and she woke up, she didn't eat the apple. The brother told Eve that they were divine beings and now they have free will, right? There's only two brothers. Enlil and Enki. Those are the only two brothers there are for the Anunnaki that came here. These were the princes of the king of Nibiru. So the Enlil is the bad one. I could get the names mixed up. Don't hate on me. It's one or the other. Okay, one's bad, one's not. And they're not really one's bad or one's not, but one created humanity and actually gave two shits about them. That's why he was the snake in the grass and told Eve, hey, cover your bodies, you're divine beings, you're not freaking work dogs that have to worship him. You have it within you to worship what you want to worship, or to believe what you want to believe. Start asking questions, look around, observe around you. And that's when she, boom, woke up. She told Adam everything, and he woke up, and then everyone started changing. And Enlil was pissed about that shit because he was like, you ruined it. Now the humans, they don't think that I'm their God all the way, and blah, 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 blah. Like, he got pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Inky ruined it for him or whatever. But Enlil didn't make them, like create them. He didn't help bring them into reality. Inky did. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, so after it got so bad to the point where the brothers had to leave the planet and they couldn't interfere anymore because mainly all of the humans were aware now. At this point, they were all building society, which is where the pyramids come in and all this stuff, right? And which is where the other people tap in, the people that we just did the past life reading before this one, when they came up and became a part of society after like while the pyramids were being made or after the pyramids were being made. This is so fucking crazy, bro. So Noah, so Noah took his people, which were people from Enki's tribe, which was the tribe that created the humans, okay? Not the Enlil's tribe, which had all the giants and all the Nephilim that came and freaking ate everybody and like destroyed. Like, the flood had to happen because of the Nephilim. The Nephilim were actually not like some crazy beings. They were actually beings that came from Nibiru, and they were the original people that had to dig for the gold before Inky created humans. Okay, so there was like these beings that Bye, Fenris. Why are you gonna stay like all week? Are we not gonna see you all week? Well, good luck learning. I love it. Go learn and come back and tell us what you learned. Hey, Aaron Space. So anyway, where was I at? So So when the flood happened, okay, Noah was Inky's grandson or great grandson. So he was like only third removed from the Inky, which was pretty much like a god to them, is what they thought. So he was like a lot Anunnaki, like really a lot. So that's why they separate the different humans, like God's people, not God's people, because not God's people were the Egyptians that were like praising Enlil, which was like wanting to kill everybody. They started wars that weren't necessary. Like the Egyptians started all these wars and like just because they thought that that's what their god wanted. Okay, Amun Ra. That's what they thought Ra would want. Amun Ra. Why do you think we say Amen? Amun Ra. You're saying you're praying to Enlil, the freaking dark Anunnaki that has created this form of religion. So you're literally giving all of your energy and all of your prayers to a freaking alien that doesn't give two shits about you. Stop saying amen. Sorry, stop saying it. Don't do it. Especially when it has anything to do with the people that you care about or that you love. Stop feeding that damn man. Stop feeding him. I just had to throw that in there really quick. But anyway, so once they go through the portal and they get out of the situation, and so then you're left with God's people or whatever. So okay, hold on. Because Noah was his family was the one that created all humans after that, after the flood. Did the Anunnaki then intercourse with Noah's seed afterwards to help create the population? No. Did their children, did the brothers' children, the Anunnaki children? Yes. Okay. Play, pleasure, and indulgence. Obviously. Okay. So then, yeah, it does explain a lot, doesn't it? So then, yeah. So then at this point, the Anunnaki were gone off the land. That's when they were still praying to them, though. Okay. They still had, Thoth. Thoth was, okay. Thoth was the one, is also the one that created the Hermetic principles, Hermes or Hermetic, yeah, the Hermetic principle of correspondences or whatever. He was Thoth, okay, the Egyptian god that would go into the underworld thing, and then he would be reborn, right? Well, they didn't know that. They thought that it was just like a new god coming out of the temple every 100 years, but it was actually Thoth. They would go into this chamber in the pyramid and regenerate, like sleep for 100 years, and then they would come out, and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, it's a new god! It's our new god born!" But really, it was just the same god, and they didn't know what he looked like because all the people that were alive before were dead by then. So Thoth was actually Marduk, yes, but Odin and Zeus were actually Enlil, the brother. That's why he was a god. Like he was godly to them, because he had a lot more power. They were pure blood. Whatever you call them, not Atlantean, but pure blood. They were princes. So not only were they pure blood, they were like, it was called the triple seed, where they had like all of the seeds. So it was like their very first leader that was the most pure. They had the most of that leader's seed in them out of everybody. They had to make sure that they only slept with other, like the women that were of his grandfather as well, like the first daughter and stuff like that, on Nibiru, on the planet Nibiru. Marduk? Yeah, so Marduk, the one that came and told Noah, you got to get out of here, take your family and get through the portal or whatever. He is the one that became Thoth, which is also the Hermit, the one that created the Hermetic order, which is something that we all need to be learning. Okay, everyone needs to go learn that because it's the true principle of reality. Okay, everyone needs to go learn that. So, long story short, you had the Egyptian gods that were worshiping Amun Ra, which is Enlil. Okay, and then you had the Moses's people, the Israelites. Okay, and those people that were way more humbled, those were the offspring of Enki. okay? The one that created the humans, the one that was benevolent. And yeah, he was not necessarily all the way benevolent. He had a problem with sex, and he slept with his own daughter and stuff. Like, he was not innocent by any means. But there was a huge difference between Enlil and Enki. Enlil wanted to get rid of the human population. He said that they were getting too strong. They were getting too smart. He wanted to take them out again. And they were like, no, we're not doing another flood. But we can, like, he did start wars that weren't for no reason. They had them killing each other. So, and Enki's people were way more passive than that. They weren't trying to fight nobody in Israelites or whatever, the Israelites or whatever. The people that were imprisoned in Egypt, the ones that were imprisoned in Egypt and slaves and treated like they were less than, just like, okay, remember how I tell you guys everything that's good is bad and everything that's bad is good? Like, they flipped the script. The winners or the successors, or yeah, the people that win at the end of the day are the ones that tell the story, correct? They called him the snake, the devil, but really he's the one. How is he a snake for just telling humanity, you're divine? We were robots that didn't even know that we needed to cover ourselves because we had no shame, because we thought that we were just inanimate objects before Enlil or Enki told us the truth. Eve and Adam the truth, or Eve the truth. And he told Eve because he loved her, like he was obsessed with her. Like, not obsessed, but he did love her. So he told her to think for herself, and it saved us, and it got us to have our own free will. That was the first time we had free will on this planet. So then, well, not necessarily, because the Atlanteans did, but that was a whole nother cycle. I'm talking about this cycle. So they were subjugated, okay? The people in Egypt were not the godly ones, or not the ones that were like should be uplifted. Like, the ones that were subjugated are the good ones. Think about it. It's everything that's ever happened in life. The people that are righteous are the ones that are subjugated and told that that's evil. Okay, so like Satan, or like the snake and all that, that's the good brother, the brother that was actually trying to help us. So think about that when you're worshiping people, okay? Because you're worshiping the wrong fucking ones. I'm telling you. So anyway, the people that were oppressed, that were like, you're nothing but scum on the planet, with the Egyptians, were the ones that should have been praised, or like treated like they were something. Like, they all should. I mean, all humans should. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, this is the people that you were channeling. This is the people that you were channeling because you were hearing that they were hurt. This is insane. This necessarily wasn't when Jesus was here, but it was in the Bible story. This was when Moses. You were doing this when Moses was alive. You were in Egypt. You were in Egypt channeling when a woman was getting raped or killed or whatever, because y'all were just the scum in Egypt. If you were one of them, like one of the Israelites or whatever, right? Yeah. So this was when Moses was here, right? Was she channeling and like hearing the cries of the women during or before Moses was born? No. Was it after Moses was born? No. Well, you had to be his midwife, though. How long after that was Jesus born? Did you become that because of how they were treated? Yes. Okay. What you read about? The Hermetic principle of correspondence. The Hermetic principle. It's called something like with that, but Hermetic. HERMETIC. And then I will also tell you, if you have a pen, I'm going to tell you the exact YouTube channel to go to watch all the movies that I have this information from, that I got this information from. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to write it down? Now the video that I'm going to tell you has been vetted. This whole channel has been vetted. So it comes from many sources that I've already known that are true. So, but you'll see, it makes so much more sense. Like, there's so much in there, and it's you have to watch it like 10 times in order to even get half of the information. There's so much information in there, it's not even funny, and it almost like goes too fast. You got to keep re-listening to it, rewatching it. I need to rewatch it again too. I've only watched it like 3 times. But Thoth was, yeah, he was always into mysticism and like learning and teaching the Hermetic principle of correspondence to everyone. That's where Aleister Crowley got his. He was following him. Aleister Crowley was. Hi, Charlotte. We're not taking questions, sweetie. Okay, so you were okay. So this is after the pyramids, okay, or after Egypt. This is after they escaped Egypt, correct? No. Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out this time period here. The time frame. The time frame. Was this lifetime after the Israelites were freed from the Egyptians' hold? No. What? How? Was it during the time of Jesus? Yes. So that has to be. I thought Jesus came after they got out of there, after Moses saved them and took them across the water. Yeah, that was way before Jesus, wasn't it? Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to, I guess it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I'm just trying to like put the whole story out there. But I guess if it's before you were born, then I guess it doesn't matter. So was this lifetime, was she born after Moses brought everyone across the water? Yes. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't matter. Okay. So how were you being subjugated then? Is what I want to know. Okay. So when Jesus was around, oh, were the Romans doing this to them? Oh my God. Maybe no. Who was there? There's a group of people that were going against a group of people. Does anybody know when Jesus was alive? If it wasn't the Romans, then who was mistreating the people of Israel? Who can I ask? She was an Israelite, right? Yes, you were an Israelite. So who was mistreating the Israelites? Who was abusing them? Nobody knows when Jesus was around, Jesus is being born and stuff. There was political brainwashing. Are you sure it's something? It wasn't the Romans? Oh, it was. Okay. Yeah, look. It even shows the Romans. That's the Roman. Look, that's what the Romans wear. This thing up here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I was about to say, like, what? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Marriage. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That's what I thought. Okay. So the Romans were mistreating the women of the Israelites. Okay. Is it because they wanted their blood into their bloodline? Yes. Oh my God. Okay. I'm so on point. Incubation, pregnancy, and nurturance. Why? Because the Israelites had more of the Anunnaki DNA in it. Because the Romans was a bunch of hoes. And they didn't keep it in the freaking bloodline. So they wanted the Israelites to be all up. They wanted to, it was less like this and more of like RAPEDing them. Okay. So they were coming in and you were channeling the fact that these people were getting RAPED by the Romans. And every time they were about to get RAPED or they were, you would send your mother and your mother would go take them out, like kissing Kate Bartlow. Sure enough did. Okay. So then, yeah, indigenous person. Yeah, the indigenous person type persons were y'all. Y'all were the ones that were indigenous to the land. The Romans came and invaded. And so again, you were one of the female disciples. I'm not going to go there yet because we're not there exactly yet, but we're getting there. We have snitch here, and we have that execution. I really hope that's not talking about the execution of Jesus Christ, even though he actually didn't die on the cross, by the way, guys. He didn't die on the cross. He slowed down his heart rate and his long enough, like he was spiritually advanced long enough to get everyone to think that he had stopped breathing. Come on, be a lady. Get down. Excuse you. Thank you. Come on. Yeah, just pop your butt right up in the air. Can we get your butt off the thank you. Yep. Okay, you can sit down. No. Keep your foot off. No. Bro, we don't have time for this. This is a good one. We're channeling Jesus here. Can you not? Okay, so how did she meet you? Okay. Is it because was she one of the ones that he changed her face? Like healed that? Did he heal her? Move your hand then. Move your face then, silly goose. I'm trying to shuffle cards. I don't know if that's a yes or no. Here, rub your face and then get off. Rub your face real quick. Okay. Get it again. Alright, no more. One more time and that's it. Okay, now move. Not up, down. Did he heal her? No. Yes and no. Patrick, this is too much. You're gonna burn your eyebrows off again. Get down. Come on. Get down, mommy. Get down. Come on, get down. I love you, baby, but I'm trying to do something right now. Can you get down? Your whole butt is all in my face. Thank you. Did Jesus heal her? Yes. Oh my God. Secrets, mystery, and cycles. It was a secret. Nobody knows. This is not in the Bible. Because I don't think you were supposed to, heal women or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because women were subjugated. So, that's why is that why she became one of his disciples? No. Okay, because he heard her. Was he told, or did he psychically know what she was doing to help the Israelites? Did he know? Or was he told? Yes. Secret dealings, rumors, and provocation. See? Provocation. Secret dealings, rumors. So he found out that you and your mother's whole little thing was protecting his people, was saving his people, right? Saving the women of his people, because he knew, because again, he was beyond our understanding of spirituality. He came here, his whole goal to come here, his whole mission was to tell humans that we were divine beings and that we didn't need to pray to some priest or to some other god in order to speak to God. We are God. He literally came here to show us this. The only reason why he did miracles was to show us that every human being can do miracles, that we all are alchemists and we can all change the molecular structure of water and turn it into wine, and so on and so forth. Okay, and that was the reason for it. That was his mission. That was his message to humanity, right? And they of course switched it around because they didn't want us to be powerful. They wanted us to stay in fear, because how can they control us if we're not in fear? Fear is how anybody is controlled. Fear is the only thing that controls you. That's why you see all these people that are like hitmans and stuff. They make sure they don't have anything that they love, so they can't fear anything. So that way nobody can get the upper hand on them, because that's the only way you can control somebody, is if they have fear over you, over something. So they make sure that their whole life is spent not having fear, making sure they don't have fear of anything. So is the knight considered? Who's the knight? Oh, is that card supposed to be on mercenary? No. I don't know who the knight is. Was the devil persona created before Jesus? Oh yeah, duh. It was in the freaking Bible from Adam and Eve. Yeah, okay. Okay, so did they claim that did the Romans claim that Jesus was possessed or cursed? Yes. Okay. Outburst, explosion, and surprise. They try to convince everybody that he was possessed by the devil, by Satan himself. Okay, because he was getting too much power here. Did she become his scribe? No. Does the scribe card represent the books that she was given in confidence to protect? Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Insistent, encourage, and patronage. Yeah. Like, he encouraged you to assist him and have patriotism towards him, be a follower, like a devoted follower, and you already were a devoted follower, 100%. Because everything that he was teaching, you already knew psychically, because you were a psychic. Okay, that's how you were channeling these people that were hurt. Okay. So the social brainwashing card right here. Oh, I'm sorry, it says political. So the political yeah, that makes so much sense. So the So the political brainwashing here is talking about the Romans brainwashing the Israelites, correct? Yes. And that they also brainwash the Roman people as well. Yes, exactly, period. See, the Roman little people were all bad. And you know what's funny is that any little people, no matter what part they're from, are not bad. It's the people that are higher up that are in the wrong. In fact, you can't get up without becoming corrupt, right? They don't allow you to be up unless you are corrupt. Okay? So think about that. Always in life, anybody that you see as a little man, or somebody that is like put down or oppressed, those are the people with the real fucking power. Okay? Those are the people with the real power, because if they didn't have real power, then they wouldn't be being oppressed. They wouldn't be telling them to keep their mouth shut. They wouldn't be silencing them. Now, there are people that are of that, like people with power that aren't being oppressed yet, but that's just because their voice hasn't gotten big enough to where they've drawn the attention of them. Okay? So there is little people that you guys can listen to, but anybody that is oppressed, don't jump to thinking that they're the problem. Okay, that's all I got to say. Did she become an actor? No. Is she an entertainer? No, I don't know what that card is for. Was Jesus the entertainer? No. I don't know what that card is for. Okay, then we have martyr and saintly right here, which is Jesus, obviously. Okay, I don't know who the knight is, and I don't know who the actor entertainer was. Let me pull some of these. Loss of power. Who lost the power back then? Who was losing the power? The Romans were losing the power? Were the Romans losing their power? Tell me more about what's going on here. Hermit. Practice, escape from the world, and wisdom. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Jesus, not in the Bible, it's not. Jesus spent 11 years or 13 years of his life with the Essenes. The Essenes were pretty much like a male group of witches, like warlocks, okay? But they were like monks. They were spiritually aligned. They were like almost like Buddhists, I guess you would say, but not, because they weren't like silent and stuff like that. They were just like, they studied all of the occult knowledge, all of esoteric knowledge, okay? And that's where he went to study for 13 years, okay? This is crazy because Cindy, are you still in here, Cindy? I'm pretty sure one of the past lives was talking about how he went to some monastery, and it was like up in the foot, like up in the mountains, like this, like in Tibet. Wasn't one of the past lives? I forgot all about that one. Yeah, and I think that he was somebody that was from the Essenes too. We have fairy, enchantment, sprites, magic, and glitter. Hmm. Could this woman here that we're channeling her past life, could she communicate with the fairies? Yes. Oh my God. Okay. You were communicating with the fairy realm, with the magical realm, the etheric realm. Okay. The fairy realm is all about nature. Oh yeah. Remember I said that you were nature because where's that card? There was something about you being. Oh, did I put it away? It was something about yeah, I can't remember what card it was, but it was like you at a watering hole or something like that, and people misjudged you or something. Y'all remember what I was saying? We have dolphins here too, so I feel like you were definitely connected to the water. Oh yeah, because there was two. Yeah. The fuck? Oh, verses 1. Okay. Daniel 12 verses 1. Okay, that's where you're saying that Jesus went to the Essenes. Vicky, do you see the monk? Oh, it was Cece. Okay, I don't remember doing her. Okay, so anyway, you in this past lifetime were a midwife, right, to Jesus, but you were the one that was the spiritual aspect of it, which had to be hidden. Okay, it had to be hidden. Esoteric had to be hidden. Longevity, commitment, and eternity. That's the same card that came out. The Queen of Cups. The Judgment. So Jesus ended up giving you the scribe, giving you the scrolls, right? Oh my God, I just heard it's like there's like 5 women. Okay, gotcha. Cece and Rick, yeah. Oh, yep. I remember. Yep. The husband and the wife. Yep, I got you. Science education and mentorship. What did I just say? Science education and mentorship. Look, that's the Essenes. It was hidden in knowledge. And look, that looks like the Freemasons. That little the scale thingy looks like the Freemasons. Okay, you don't have to keep repeating it, Vicky. We see it. Science education. Yeah, so this is when Jesus was at the Essenes, okay? Okay, we don't need this political thing up here. We already know what that is. We already know what was the Essenes, the ones that were the Patreon, the charity for the Patreon. Yes, okay. What is that though? Hold on. Did the Essenes supply the money that they needed for the women to keep the knowledge hidden for Jesus? For Yeshua, what are you going to say? Yes, okay, so you actually went there to the Essenes. I thought the Essenes were all male. Were the Essenes all male? I thought they were. I need one answer. Were the Essenes all male members? No. Wow, there was women. So there was women. Was there a woman's sect? Emotional stability, endurance, and resolve. Exchange, rhythm, and unification. Oh my God, development, apprenticeship, and initiation. I cannot make this shit up. We're not doing questions. This is a paid reading. This is a past life reading. Dude, we have strength or pupus, emotional stability, endurance, and resolve. Why was there women? Why was there women in these scenes with Yeshua? Because they brought the strength. Oh, I know, Vicky. I wasn't talking to you. We were talking to the person that wrote above you. So, because the women brought the strength, okay? The women brought the endurance and the emotional stability. Without them, the Essenes would have been the knowledge, but they wouldn't have learned emotionally, right? And they also created resolve because the men would bicker upon themselves and the women were the ones to hold the fort down. Okay, like look, you see all those strings holding that boat? That boat ain't going nowhere, bro. Because of the ropes. The ropes are purple. Purple is like a feminine color, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then this is how I also know. At Antlia, exchange, rhythm, and unification. Inhale and exhale. Balance. Yes, look. Look, she's breathing in because you see these little arrows up here? It's going into her mouth. In. Breathing in. And then what? Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Wow, that's so cool because I could have sworn there was no women in there, even from the esoteric knowledge that I do know. Then we have development, apprenticeship, and initiation. Maybe there was only men. I think that there was only men there at first, but Jesus brought the women with him, which was what's the guy? What's her name called? His midwife. He brought his midwife and the women that came with him. Like he had like these women disciples, and he brought them with, and they had to accept them into the Essenes. Is Jesus the one that integrated women into the Essenes? Yes, bro. Look, connectivity, appreciation, and individuality. Because Jesus came here and he was divinely, he was completely imbalanced. He was the divine masculine. He knew the yin and the yang. The women were just as powerful as the men, and they were just as important. Everything is balanced, right? That's what we know now. That's what he knew way back then. So he integrated them. And why was he able to do that? Because the Essenes were psychic. They were psychic. I'm sorry, Londaway. I'm doing a paid reading. You're welcome to get a paid reading though. If you would like to, let me know. Yeah, remember the truth seeker? He was going on a spiritual quest. He brought these women with him, and he brought them to the Essenes, and they accepted him, which is crazy because it's always been like, oh no, it was just a man, blah blah blah, which is not crazy because they hide all kinds of shit about women. They've been oppressing us for so many years, for thousands of years. Okay, so that makes sense. So he brought y'all to the Essenes. The Essenes then funded the hiding of these readings or of these books that he couldn't integrate into the Bible or couldn't integrate into society. Bro, literally Adam and Eve is right here. Earth, home, healing, and protection. That's Adam and Eve. Look, see the apple on the tree? That's why they're naked. So you were one of them. This is insane. You were a freaking Essene, bro. That's crazy. So while he was gone, a lot of people are trying to spread the word that the Messiah has come, the Messiah has come, the Messiah has come. And there was so much brainwashing going on. An Earth card, yeah. There was so much brainwashing going on from the Romans. And what did your mom do when you were gone? I don't know about that. You did go on this. Okay. Ocean traveler here. Okay, yeah, let me ask. Was her mom still doing the femme fatale stuff? Did her mom pass away before she left? So her mom settled down? She got older? No. What? Did the mom come with her? Oh, I'll be with you. No. Oh wait, she has two moms. I forgot. She had two moms. This was back, dude. There was two moms. Remember? Oh, was the knight the defender her father? That's who the knight was. I'm an idiot. I don't know what made me think. I forgot all about the father. You have to have a father to have a child. Yeah, look. He's the strong one that was a defender. He defended y'all. He could go to. Was he also one of the ones that went around with Jesus to the scene to defend? Yes. Okay. Cool. So you're biological.